Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Melody from Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It Homestead. I had a question of how I make, I call it gravy, from my tomatoes. And I did a whole big batch yesterday. I was going to record it and it's just too chaotic here. So I did all my tomatoes outside. I filled this entire pot up. I cooked them down for hours. And then look at this old gadget. It's where you can hook it right onto a pot like that, and you turn the handle, which I'm trying to do this one-handed. You turn the handle, and then you, try this again. Turn the handle. You get all the juice out of the tomatoes, and it also takes off all the skin, and you can just dispose of the skin. And then it looks like this. All I did just now, believe it or not, that big silver pot was full of tomatoes, and this is how much I've gotten out of that. I put a little fresh basil, a little fresh oregano into that. I've been letting it slowly simmer for about an hour. I will be turning it off, and then I will can it. So when I can it, sorry. When I go to can it, I obviously wash the jars, the lids, the rings, bring the pot up to a boil, the pot for the jars. I sanitize them, and then I'll use the funnel. I'll pour this into quart-sized jars with a tablespoon of lemon juice, teaspoon of salt, and that's it. That is how I can my homemade tomato sauce. So someone asked me that question over on Instagram, and I just wanted to pop on and tell you how I make mine. So this is from all those tomatoes, which I had a ton, and I just put a little fresh basil in there, a little bit of oregano. I will pick that out because I like putting a fresh leaf of basil on the top of my quart-sized jars. You have to use lemon juice and either pickling salt or kosher salt because of the acidity. So, beautiful tomatoes. This is the big pot that I had almost filled yesterday with tomatoes. Use this old gadget, which I'm assuming was Jean's mom's, and you just turn the handle and it gets all the juice out of the tomatoes. Turn it the opposite way and it clears off the blade and just collects all the skin. So I cooked that for quite a while yesterday. And then by the time I got done, it was kind of late. And then this is what it looks like. Now, this is the size of the pot, which is a lot smaller than my other pot. But we'll see how many quart jars I get out of this. I will do a video when I go to can the gravy. Out of some of the other tomatoes, I want to make some pico de gallo out of that because I have some avocados as well. So yeah, just a super quick video because someone wanted to know how I do my tomatoes to get gravy, and that is exactly how I do it. Now, if you don't have this gadget, which I forget the name of this, if anybody knows the name of this, you can see how old it is. Just leave me a comment down below because where I'm staying, Thomas calls it something completely that I know it's not. But if you don't have that, how I always did it was boil some water and you put a slit, like an X, in the bottom of the tomato, drop it into boiling water for a few minutes, and it will remove the skin. Like you just take it out of the boiling water, ice water bath, and then you just peel the skin off. That's how I always did it. But this time I used that little gadget right there, and that worked out well, except it takes a long time to, use that little gadget. But there you have it. Super quick video on how I make my homemade gravy out of my fresh tomatoes from the garden. So, like I said, if you don't have that little gadget, just boil some water, put an X in the bottom of all your tomatoes, put them in there 2 minutes, if that, drop them right into a cold ice water bath, peel all the skins off. That's how I did it. This year, being somewhere else, I used their little gadget that I don't know the name of, and you had to stand there and just keep turning it the other way to get the skins off. It worked. It looks beautiful. And when I go to can a couple out of this, I'm just gonna roughly say maybe 4 quart-sized jars. I don't know, we'll have to see. So the day that I go to record canning this sometime today, when I post it, we'll see how many jars I get out of it. But that is how I make my gravy, which is what I like to call it, from my fresh tomatoes from out of the garden. And I hope that was helpful for whoever needed to know that. I was asked over on Instagram, thought I would pop on real quick. It does look delish. I didn't put any salt in it. I didn't put any sugar in it, because when I go to can it, I have to go back to my recipe and look, but I'm pretty sure it's a tablespoon of lemon juice in each quart-sized jar. So it's a teaspoon if you're not using a quart-sized jar, and teaspoon of salt, and I always top it off with a basil leaf, and then it will go into hot water bath. I think for 15 minutes. Don't hold me to that though, because I don't have my recipe right in front of me. So this video was just how do I cook it, and that's it. That's how I do it. Pretty simple. So I hope that was helpful for whoever needed to know how do you make gravy from your garden tomatoes. Love y'all, and I will see you on the next video. God bless.